Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. It's a bit of a mess. I think we already know that though. You've probably been prepared for the price pulling back. Typically why I put these little thumbs down in my playout charts to kind of give you an indication that it's not looking pretty for long. So if you've been adding to your spot bag, good job, congrats. I've been doing so myself. But at this point, what we want to double check is a few key factors, kind of see where we're at with not only liquidation, but some larger term trend lines. We can look at some bigger picture stuff too. So before we get started there, I just want to give a quick congrats to our community members here. Bitcoin short 25%, ETH short 30%, Matic 30%, and then of course ICP a nice little 33%. So we got 4 shorts all hitting our second, third, and or fourth targets. So I'm super happy that's working well for you guys. Thanks again for the awesome feedback. If you're considering becoming a community member, we do have a few slots left. CryptoCash.tech is a site link down below. And at this point here, what we want to look at for Solana, first of all, is let's go with the liquidation first. Kind of see, ooh, boy, this is a mess. Okay, so first of all, 93 got hit pretty hard. A lot of liquidation at 91. Come on, folks, what are you doing here? I don't know why people short. I mean, well, there's a great chance they probably haven't seen my videos. I get it, totally. But at this point here, trying to take longs at about 91 or 90, I get the merit, but Bitcoin hasn't found its bottom yet. We got to recognize that until Bitcoin does, Solana could continue to pull back. Solana is one of the few coins that's actually highly profitable too, so you got to recognize pullback for this coin could be a lot greater than you might think. So truth is, majority of liquidity has been swept. If we do take a look, of course, at the 12-hour, quickly double check anything that's fairly new or recent, we can see some new longs here at about 86. So generally speaking here, it's not looking pretty, but there isn't a lot of liquidation left. And in fact, if you do look at the charts here, we can see this perfect level here. 87 was tested back in January on the 12th, like I mentioned, 7 days ago, exactly a week ago, when all that Bitcoin ETF stuff happened. Bitcoin sold off really hard. Solana recovered. Bitcoin did not. Bitcoin now testing its CME gap here at about 40,500, and we're seeing exactly the same exact level as at 87. So you could call this a double bottom, but I don't really personally think it's going to be a double bottom. I think this is just that first little retest there to sweep all this lower level liquidity. And then, of course, maybe potentially continue further down. Okay, so we're just going to talk about that. And you got to keep in mind, you got to keep an open mind rather when you look at the charts here, folks. Okay, because again, if you're watching this and you're instantly upset that the price is going down, then you're probably trading incorrectly. Not saying that it's any shame on you for taking a long and you got liquidated. I'm just saying that generally speaking, you might have rushed into a trade perhaps, or maybe you're trading too much. Those are just things that I kind of work on with my community. So just be mindful that this is a new opportunity for us to be able to find a better value for this coin. Hypothetically, though, we got to anticipate the fact that the price could come down lower. In fact, let's quickly just take a look at the weekly here and see where we're at with our moving averages, etc. Obviously, we're still in good shape there. We can see stochastic is swinging down pretty hard, though, and it has been for roughly 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, now we're below 70 on the RSI. Money flow index is pretty low, and of course, we look at MACD is still diverging, but it hasn't fully diverged yet. Okay, so truth is, we're not in like dire straits here, but there's more bearish signs and bullish signs here starting to form more specifically within the last week, especially since Bitcoin started pulling back. Okay, we take that and we combine that kind of with our daily analysis. We can see we have our second stochastic swing to the downside here. We lost 50 on the RSI pretty substantially. This is a really big deal for us because of the simple fact that we haven't lost 50 on the RSI since we haven't been below roughly since September. And what do you know? September was a pretty substantial start to this bullish uptrend. So I really think that we're in a situation right now that 87 is not really a likely bottom for Solana. Okay, let's just be realistic here. There's much more potential for downside. Same thing as well here. Money flow index is fairly high. That doesn't matter too much again on the daily. Personally, I more so want to look at the 4-hour, and we'll double check that here. So the truth is, big picture, not looking great. The macro time frame is kind of glaringly obvious bearish signs. Okay, so again, taking a long into this is foolhardy because there's no confirmation it's going to recover, and that combination with Bitcoin pulling back isn't a recipe for success. It's a recipe for the price pulling back further. So am I saying to open a short right now? Not necessarily. Again, we have a short open too with our Premium Plus group, if I'm not mistaken. and we took some nice healthy profits there, 22% there. There's a few other trades too that are going pretty well, XRP2, but honestly, it's a little bit all over the place because we're getting these strange confirmational signs on the smaller time frames, and then the price is shifting. So again, that's all the more reason if you're day trading to keep your head on a swivel and make sure that you are paying close attention. 4-hour time frame, let's see what's going on here. Stochastic RSI swinging down, of course, money flow index very, very low, and then the traditional RSI is getting low. So again, standard situation here is to wait a little bit longer. I would say $87 may be a decent bouncing point, or even 88 or 89, because we do take a look at its history though. Anytime we hit 30 on the RSI and money flow index is below that, you see a pretty significant relief rally. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price try to pull back up here to this next fib level here, maybe a previous support at about 93, but we might actually have some trouble there. So you got to keep in mind the price action. It's gonna probably likely reject off that level. Okay, so if it does recover and you're taking a long right now, don't do a greedy long. Okay. You should not expect the price to go to 130 in a couple of weeks. It's just not realistic. We got to break through a lot of resistances, and we're below all moving averages. There's really no reason to take a long position. But if you insist on taking one, dang it, move your stop loss higher as you take profit. As you move into profit, secure those profits while you still can. I don't care if it's only a few dollars, it's still money at the end of the day, and it's important that you walk away profitable in this market instead of being uber greedy just because you want to post an amazing snapshot on your social media. Okay, trust me, that does nothing for you at the end of the day. All that does is create unhealthy habits. Hourly time frame. Let's look at the hourly time frame. Ichimoku Cloud, all green lights here to leave your short position open if you have one. No real reason to take a long. Again, that potential pivot off 30 on the RSI here in the near future could be a consideration, but that may never happen, and that may not even be a thing. Okay, again, Bitcoin is misbehaving. There's no other way around it. Bitcoin fills its CME gap at 39.3. We will see an absolute decrease in value here from Solana. Speaking of decrease in value, just to kind of give you some healthy pivot points here. Again, we got a support level at about $80. I'm just rounding up a little bit, but $80 based on fib and previous resistance. That's a tentative support. And also roughly to say, I'm going to round up and say 83. So that way, if you put a limit order in there and it wicks all the way down a little bit lower, you're going to be able to get filled and likely have a better position. So I would just say $83 and $80 are the two rough estimates for bouncing points if we lose this current $87 mark. Okay, you could even argue too that we might see a bounce off 85. There is a line there, of course, pretty definitive, where the price wicked down twice before it bounced back. Okay. So my speculation here is that we're going to see a slight relief rally here from Solana. It will likely reject off the $93 to $94 range. And then if it continues lower, I would say a short from 93 down to 87, 85, 83, 80 might be a consideration. More important, just consider some spot limit orders at those levels, right? And again, not a round number. I'm giving you round numbers for examples, but if you're setting a limit order, for example, instead of 83, 83.10, instead of $80 even, $80.25, for example. That's kind of how you can get filled and make sure that you ensure that you do get filled on the way down. Because limit orders, you're kind of put in a queue, and if there's 100 people in front of you at this exact round number, you're going to get filled first. All right. Again, just some friendly advice. So that's kind of where we're at there. What are your thoughts? Love to hear it. Comment below. Explain what you think is going to happen. Again, it's kind of a show right now, and it's a really interesting situation, but I do think Solana has more potential for downside than it does upside at this given time frame, considering the overall circumstances in the market. Just again, a thought process there. I hope it rallies back, and I'm glad that I bought the dip at 87, 88, and 89. Honestly, I'll continue to buy these dips as they go lower. Last but not least, if you haven't already, make sure you utilize the link down below to qualify for this exclusive offer from Bitunix. They are no KYC, no VPN exchange. We use them as a community, specifically to ensure that we actually have some trading opportunities in the US, Canada, and other countries that are restricted. So be sure to utilize that. Also register for the trading competition down below too, and get some extra little benefits. It's not the worst thing ever. Nice little bonus there too. So again, thank you Bitunix for an awesome exchange opportunity, and thank you as well to you. You know who you are. I thank you so much for just being an amazing part of my life. Love working with you. You're awesome, and we'll see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.